Letter to Loretta, starring Loretta Young, Miss Loretta Young.
Hello. Thank you for accepting my invitation to come back here again tonight. Because tonight, well, I have a public confession to make, which, while it will come as no surprise at all to those who know me, is a direct answer to a direct question in this first letter. Dear Loretta, it says, and by the way, it's signed Ruth, do you do everything like you say in those quotations from Shakespeare and the Bible and all? My husband says he doesn't think so. Ruth, your husband's right. These quotations from the Bible and Shakespeare and all are the ideals to which I aspire. I certainly don't claim to have accomplished them. Now, I would say the most and the very best that could be said for me is that I try. Now, this letter is from a young man named Ben Cabot. He sent it to us in the hope that it would be an inspiration to us. Well, it was. The letter tells a tale of courage, and it tells it so simply and so well that we have made no attempt to embellish it. Dear Loretta, he says, this is the story of Inga Hellborg. From the first moment I met her, I knew it was a story that I would have to follow to the very end. There was something about her, something which I can only compare with, well, the exterior of a bank. Not too fancy, perhaps, but giving promise of great treasure within.
The truth is, I first saw her in the bank. We were both waiting to see the bank president, but for very different reasons.
Next Wednesday at 10:30. I'll tell Mr. Lowell. All right.
Mr. Pfeiffer.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Mundy.
Hello, Pfeiffer. I want to get this escrow moving fast.
Yes, well, I have the papers here.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm here first.
Nonsense. I had an appointment.
Oh, but I'm here first.
I phoned yesterday.
And I sent a letter 2 weeks ago.
You'll have to be patient, miss. Mr. Mundy's a very busy man.
I've got a million things to do today.
Then I would suggest that you do them.
Who are you to make suggestions to me?
Who does one have to be to make suggestions to you?
I'll be back later.
Oh, poor man. I'm sure he does have his troubles. But I am here first.
Just what did you want?
I want to see the president of your bank.
Mr. Lowell is busy.
A million things to do, yeah?
Yes.
Good. I am one of those million.
What's it about?
About something Mr. Lowell should not do.
Your name?
Inga Hellborg.
Inga Hellborg.
Yeah.
Your business?
Farmer.
Farmer?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I remember now. The Hellborg farm.
Yeah.
Foreclosure of unpaid note. Subject deceased. File 22.
File 22 is my father.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't need to be sorry, sir. Sven Hellborg was the best farmer in Minnesota. And if he had not been sick for so long with only me to look after him, your note would have been paid by now.
Miss Hellborg, the farm no longer belongs to you.
Well, you have a right to your own opinion, even if you are wrong. And you are wrong. Now, may I see your president, please?
You may not.
But I must see him.
You cannot see him.
Mr. Pfeiffer, I will see Mr. Lowell, no matter what you say.
I will say no more.
Oh. Well, good day, sir.
She'll get to see Mr. Lowell over my dead body.
Well, we all have to go sometime.
What do you mean by that, Mr. Cabot?
She'll see Mr. Lowell, whatever the condition of your body. Don't you agree? My second encounter with Inga convinced me that I'd met something unique, an irresistible force. The encounter took place at the home of Bank President Thad Lowell, whom we might call the immovable object. As a member of the prison farm board, Thad Lowell always started the meetings with the same remark.
Thad, for 10 years you've started every meeting with the same remark.
Let's leave statistics to Ben Cabot. By the way, how is our young brain mechanic?
Prison psychiatrist is the title, Mr. Lewis.
Ben Cabot, prison psychiatrist. Well, let's get going. I've got a million things to do today.
Well, here comes one of the things.
Refreshments.
Oh, are you Mr. Lowell?
Yes. Thanks. You must be the new domestic.
Oh, no, sir. I am a farmer.
You're a what?
Oh, for 14 years I have been a farmer. Mr. Lowell, when you have time, I would like to talk with you about it.
With me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course.
Sir,
Thank you.
you're very welcome.
Well, let's get down to business.
Well, I brought my report on occupational therapy with me.
Why don't you read it, Cabot?
Report on work therapy at King Cardin Retention Farm.
Retention farm?
It's a new word. Not as harsh as prison farm.
Excuse me, please, Mr. Lowell, when you do get a moment. I'll be waiting outside.
Gentlemen, as I was saying, retention farm is not as harsh as prison farm.
Excuse me. Speak with me about what?
Sit down, Mr. Lowell, please. I am Inga Helborg, daughter of Sven, file 22, foreclosure of unpaid note, subject deceased.
Oh, so that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right off, Miss Helberg, the matter is legal. There's not a chance of contesting it.
But I am contesting it here now, this minute.
On what grounds?
Well, on the grounds that there are 3,000 acres lying fallow, waiting for seed and no one to sow it.
Well, really, we're not concerned with seed, Miss Helberg.
Oh, not seed. People. A farm is people. Plowing and planting and working and praying and fighting the stem dust and the winter kill and the big winds.
You'll have to understand a bank is a business.
Oh, I agree. And a good farm run by good people is a good business.
Undoubtedly.
Hmm?
You'll have to realize that I owe a responsibility to my depositors.
But they will get their money. I have already sold the livestock, and that, together with one good crop, will do it. The north 1,500 in corn, and the south in wheat.
But will there be a crop?
You bet. Trust me.
Trust you?
Yeah. Like your depositors trust you.
Well, I guarantee my depositors a certain reserve.
And I guarantee you everything I have. My promise.
I'm sorry, Miss Helberg.
The knowledge that they are eating food produced by their own hands has been most gratifying, along with the sense of accomplishment.
Go on, Cabot, go on. Don't let me interrupt. Miss Helberg, the matter is settled. I've made up my mind.
Oh, I don't think we should discuss it in front of these gentlemen. But since you have started, you're wrong. You haven't made up your mind. You are very uncertain.
Why shouldn't I be uncertain about trusting a young girl to run a 3,000-acre farm?
But you use that word every day of your life. It's written on your building, bank and trust, in gold letters.
That means you are to trust us.
But I do trust you.
Naturally you do. We're a solid institution. We've proven that through the years.
And what have the Minnesota farmers proved? Oh, why, your bank was built with those little kernels of corn and a hard red spring wheat.
She's got you there, Thad.
This is your Minnesota farmer.
Oh, you bet. 14 years.
All right. 14 years. Very well. I'll give you 180 days to pay that note.
Oh, good.
6 months.
Yeah.
Compound interest.
Yeah.
And don't you come crying to me about winter kill, drought, or the cinch bug. If you lose your crop, you lose the farm.
Oh, I don't lose my farm. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lowell.
Now, if you don't mind, young lady, may we go on with our meeting?
But, sir, there's something more.
What is something more?
The meeting. They told me about it at the bank. Who's chairman?
I'm chairman.
Good.
Yes, Miss Helberg?
Permission to address the committee, please.
You've had the floor up to now. You may as well continue.
Thank you. Gentlemen, Minnesota farmhand doesn't like to work for a woman. And I am much in need of experience.